Good day, everyone. Ali Safi here, Safi Financial Network, August 1st, 2025. In this video, I'm going to specifically bring analysis for Nasdaq, which hit new all-time high this week. However, today is Friday, August 1st, and we see that market, the entire market almost, and the Nasdaq specifically going down. And it's about the weekly close to the downside, which is going to be bearish engulfing at the top. And this is kind of like the expectation that we had months of July, but it's kind of like a stretched out to August, which is fine for me. And I believe that still more corrections are coming. And make sure watch this video till end because we will have like lots of good analysis down the road, and I'm gonna give you specific levels, which level you should point it out. So here is the bullish trend line that you see that for Nasdaq. This is a monthly chart, by the way, and Nasdaq find out the April low here, which is specifically, we mentioned that one in our subscribers as well. This is a nice 50% Fibonacci from here to here and getting back breakout and getting all the way up. So 50% again Fibonacci from here to this top here and pointed out here. So this is exactly typical cycles that Nasdaq want to follow. However, we reached out this peak and again, very sharp, fast and furious going all the way up to this a major resistance here. Pretty close to 24,000 area, 23,700 actually just hit the top and getting back down. I would say Nasdaq can go down to 20,942 in a monthly basis. It doesn't mean that tomorrow or next week, but I would say months of August, September, and potentially October is going to be brutal months for a stock market. There are going to be lots of chops and going downside. That would be a great buying opportunity if you ask me still, because we may see another push higher to new all-time high by year end or even next year. So still looking for that one. What's going to be the fundamental reason? I believe that just posted in my channel as well. So potentially we're going to see a war again coming back to Middle East area. And that's going to happen potentially in August, September. So August, September, October is going to be lots of geopolitical tensions. You will see that lots of chops in trade wars and tariffs and those stuff is coming again back and lots of volatility down the road. However, that's going to be a good potential buying opportunity. As I said, 20,900 stochastic momentum, everything is getting to overbought condition in monthly chart. So we may kind of like be cautious and just allocate your cash on the side because that's going to give you a good chunk of money for investing. Again, buy back or buy in the dip scenario could happen when we get to the right level. Right now, we just hit the top, so just be careful of that one. Here is the weekly chart. Let me just show you. Weekly chart is pretty interesting because we got kind of like this scenario getting back up. Weekly close today, I assume that it's going to happen, and that's going to be bearish engulfing for I would say I haven't seen bearish engulfing here. So last year in July, we see that kind of like this bearish engulfing confirmation at the top, and you see that multi-weeks correction followed by. And right now, again, we are going to see the same scenario. I believe that Nasdaq can go all the way down to 21,700, 800. That's going to be first optimistic potential scenario for Nasdaq, and that could give us kind of like a 5%. But if we get stretched out lower to 20,700, 20,900, that would be the same scenario as well. So it's going to complete our correct or my correction downside, almost at 11, 10% to the downside, which is going to give us a very healthy scenario. So that's going to happen potentially by end of August or September. We should see some kind of like this dip and then getting back up finally and shortly. I mean, like shortly within the next 6 months or 8 months to new all-time high in 2026. So this is the window that I have from potentially November to April next year. We're gonna see some kind of like a 26,000 for Nasdaq. But for the next week, I mean, like for the next month, for the next few months, we should see some kind of like a corrective action, and that would be very, very healthy for Nasdaq. Daily chart is the same. So we got kind of like the scenario to bearish engulfing at the top, like here is the yesterday, and today we just got confirmation with breakthrough below SMA 20, which we were kind of like above this since April to 24. So April 24 right now, we are just getting a market in a bullish momentum, very strong bullish momentum to the upside. Today we got a signal to the downside. I would say potentially we're gonna see the chop here, 22,500. We're gonna see some kind of like a bounces. This is a nice a trend line that it's gonna be the third touch, and third touch almost is the strongest one. And if we get a bounce, that would be just a bounce, and the next the corrective or sharp decline is coming down the road potentially through the months of August. So stay tuned for that one. That's going to be good buying opportunity. The way that I'm optimistic is the reason is just because we had earnings for big techies, and you see that they were outstanding. They were fantastic. There is no sign of recessions, at least for now, for the earning perspective. I know that NFP came up today very weak, but NFP is always weak. It was always weak. And I know that some numbers actually, like last year, they came up with a stronger number every single month. And then year end, they came up with a correction. And they said, by the way, we just made a mistake. Here is some adjustment. And if you just accommodate those adjustments number in NFP, you see that they were all weak. So they were all weak, but market didn't pay attention after that because they bought it. They bought every single month, and they don't care about the year end when they came up with adjustment. So right now, I would say NFE is just a political number. It's just a show off for president, and president wants to have a rate cut. And today we saw that it's kind of like putting pressure on Powell again. I believe that rate cut is coming in September, but fundamental perspective, market is pretty strong. We had a very, very sharp bounce, and this is a very, very sharp bounce V-shaped recovery. If we were due for correction and we were looking for this correction, and we are not surprised for this correction, and this correction is going to continuing for the next few months. So again, just to buckle up, we are going to see lots of opportunities down the road, but don't rush. Don't rush, and be patient and be a hunter. All right, folks, if you like this video, please smash the like button, subscribe to our channel, and have a good one. See you on the chart. Bye-bye.